Pivot tables are now available in SmartSuite, allowing you to summarize and analyze data quickly. I'll show you how to set this up in the dashboards view. Check it out. I already have a table set up here with example data. You can use this for a lot of different use cases depending on your business. I have a really simple sales table set up here. So I just have a pivot tables solution that I've created as a demo, and then an example sales table here. Within the sales table, I have statuses, we have salespeople. This can obviously be a linked table field here. If you want to add your salespeople in a separate table, you can do that. Same with customers, products, region, whatever. You can use the linked record table. You could have separate tables across the top here that you're linking these specific fields to. Keep it really simple though. I'm just using single select for all of these. It essentially does the same thing within the pivot tables function. Status, salespeople, we have the amount of the sale, the region, product, the sale date, for example, and a customer name. Once you have your table set up, you will want to go over to your views here on the left. We can open this up. We'll create a new view, scroll down to the bottom, and we'll select the dashboard view. Create the view here, close that. So we have more space, and we can go up here to add widget. So there's a lot of different widgets here. You can create different reports and summarize information accordingly, like progress metric, comparison metric. You can have your charts, graphs, and so on. I'm just going to search for pivot tables, as this is a newer widget in the last couple months, I believe. We can have a title for our pivot table. We could do something like sales by employee, and then you could have a description with a little bit more information if you wanted. And you can have this below the title or as a tooltip. I'll just toggle this off. From here, we have our source. This is the source of the pivot table where it's grabbing this information from. Because we created this view within the pivot table solution and within the sales table, it's automatically brought in our solution as pivot tables and our table is sales. But we are not limited to this. If we want to create a dashboard that looks up information from another table or even another solution, that is fine as well. I'm just going to leave it as is because this is correct. Obviously, we have filters, which is very helpful within pivot tables. I'll jump into that shortly, but for a brief example, something like a status, if we're summing up that sales, we want to know how much we've maybe lost. We want to know how much we've actually closed and brought in. We can filter accordingly because right now without the filter, it's going to look at everything from leads to contacted to closed to lost. We'll go into rows. And the first one I'm going to create is a sales by employee. Bring in the salesperson name, and we can just leave this sort by group, and we'll go ascending order to sort by. And then we'll go into columns here, and we have a few other options. In the columns, I'm going to go down to products so I can see how much of each product each employee has sold. And right now we've got the products across the top here. I'll just go ascending for that as well. So we have all of our employees, our salespeople, and then our products. This is the total number of sales of each product. But if I go down to the summary here, I can go by field and we can sum by the sale amount, and we'll leave the summary type as sum. Now I can see here that Emily, product A, has sold just over $3,000, and we can see the total sum of sales here. And for each employee, we're able to see this type of information. It allows us to bring in different metrics to compare how each salesperson is doing on each product or region or customer and so on. Back to the top here, to the rows, I actually want to change the rows to be customer name, and the column, I want that to be salesperson. Now we've got the salesperson name across the top and each customer down the left here. Now we can see each sale from each salesperson or employee by customer as well. And again, this is bringing in the leads, contacted status, closed won, and closed lost. If I go down here and click add widget, we can see it's now on our dashboard. We can drag this across to make it bigger if we want to see it all in the view, or we can leave it just in the corner here, and you can expand the view once the toggle is on view. We can open it up and see it. We can click into each of the fields here where it rolls up the information. If we go to John and this Acme Corp, we can select that and we can see that total is bringing in 2 different sales. I'll just click Save Changes. I'm going to go into Grid View for a moment and click into the status field. So we can see here we have lead contacted, closed won, and closed lost. If I want to filter by that field, I can toggle on Edit. We can go into Edit Widget. And now I want to see the actual sales status. We're going to sum up this information only if this is closed won, which makes more sense because to have closed lost doesn't make a lot of sense in this use case. We can hit X here and we'll go Save Changes. If I expand that, we can see that it's only bringing in the records that have a status of closed and won. So once you have that set up, you can have sales by employee / customer. We'll save changes. We'll click the options here and we're going to just duplicate this widget. Now we could maybe have customer / product. We'll duplicate this out. We can go into the edit widget and we'll leave customer in the rows. That's fine. We'll open up columns. We'll go into product and we can save changes. And now if we expand this, we can see each total or summary by product and by customer. So it allows us a lot of different insights into our data and into our information by rolling up information by customer, salesperson, product. You can even do date to look at this data in a pivot table by date or by month. In this case, what we're going to have to do is go across to here. So we're looking at sale date. I'm going to right click on it and we're going to add a new field. I'm just going to use a formula field and click into the advanced editor. And if I go month, we can use the month function looking at the sale date and we can change this to month. And now it's going to show us the month of each sale. In this case, all of the sales are within 1 year, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. However, if you did have this span across multiple years, this could have January 1st, 2024 and then have a sale January 1st, 2025. The month would be 1. So it would show up within the month of January within your dashboard, unless you filtered that out. That's something that you would have to be mindful of. So I'm going to go back into dashboard, go into this employee and month here, make sure I hit edit, go into edit widget. I will leave in the columns the employee or salesperson. And then in the rows, I'll change this to the month, save changes, toggle it back to view and expand to full screen. Within the edit widget, make sure that the columns has the salesperson. And then if we hit save changes, toggle it back to view and expand to full screen, we can see each employee and their sales by month throughout the year. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.